Welcome to The Deal, a podcast dedicated to maximizing name, image, and likeness opportunities. You'll hear from student athletes, coaches, and athletic administrators on how NIL partnerships can impact individuals and the schools they attend. It all comes down to making the best deal.
All right, welcome back to another episode of The Deal, an NIL podcast for student athletes, administrators, and coaches. We're excited to have Isaac Joseph here with us. Hi, Isaac.
Hello, I'm glad to be here.
So, Isaac, can you just tell us a little bit about who you are, what sport you do, where you run, and then just kind of how you got started utilizing your NIL?
Well, my name is Isaac Joseph, and the sport I do is I run track and field. I specialize in the sprints, so I do the 100 and the 200. And how I got started into NIL, when it first came out, because the NAIA was the first to hop on the NIL trend, and then Florida was one of those states that allowed collegiate athletes and NAIA athletes to be able to start monetizing their brand, to get to talk to deals, to talk to different entities and things like that. So I started off with Open Doors, and I signed up on that app. I created my profile, and then after that, it was just applying and then just talking to those brands. And the cool thing about it was that you were able to message these brands, and then they were able to notify your school. So then the school would know, and then you would be able to do it the legal way, and they would know about the deals, and then you would be able to monetize your brand, create content for all of these different deals.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so you mentioned Open Doors. Now you have a pretty big profile on there. It's pretty well built out. So what do you think kind of are the specific aspects that need to be built out on there? What do you think makes a good profile for anybody who's looking to, get on Open Doors or kind of improve their profile? What are kind of those aspects that you think someone should kind of lean into?
I think just every person as an individual just have to find their own personality, because NIL is based on name, image, and likeness. So it's not based on how well you do at your sport. So that's what a lot of people think, that you need to be like the best at your sport or something like that. It helps, but it's not all that matters. So I feel like highlighting things that you do, whether it's community service, talents that you may do, or just things that you do outside of your sport. Like, you never know what kind of things a company is looking for in their athletes, because a lot of people, they see us as role models because we're doing practices and things like that, sometimes a part-time job while taking classes. So people listen to the things that we do and the things that we post. So I feel like just sharing all aspects of your life on your profile, and just using the right words to describe yourself is the way to do that.
Absolutely. And so with applying for deals and opportunities, what are kind of those opportunities that you've loved being able to be a part of, whether it's through Open Doors or outside of the platform?
Through Open Doors, I like Open Doors because it allows you, like I said, it just has a breakdown and things like that. But Open Doors does set up that opportunity, because once you start making more videos and content for all these different brands, then you'll have other brands reach out to you. And of course, you always have to let your school and the head of compliance know. And it just opens the opportunity, because especially as NAIA athletes, we're able to find another way, another source of income, and also build ourselves as athletes, contact future employers just through this new NIL platform that we have as athletes.
Absolutely. And so on your profile, you have mentioned that you've had the opportunity to run for Haiti, which is your parents' home country. How were you able to secure this opportunity? Was it through your NIL, or what's the deal with that?
Running for my country, so I was able to do that when I first started running track. I was able to be blessed and run a time to qualify for the junior team. And then after that, it's just opened so many opportunities. Like 2 weeks ago, I just came back for competing for my university and representing the country of Haiti. So I feel like just doing that, I have track, and then I'm also competing internationally also is very appealing to other brands. So it's helped my personal brand, and also talking to all these different brand deals that I'm working with and currently working with.
Yeah, for sure. And so if there's another student athlete out there who does have ties to another country, what would be kind of like some pieces of advice that you would give them if they kind of want to utilize their NIL there?
I feel like just keep recording, keep posting. I feel like especially as athletes, we're intimidated to like record. Like I'll record practices, the hard times, the tough times, the good times, and just putting that stuff out there, whether it's Instagram or TikTok or whatever social media platform you use. Anyone can see that, or your country may see that, and maybe someone from your country that has a company wants to sponsor you or give you an opportunity to it could be the simplest thing, a meet and greet. They'll fly you out, whatever the case may be. Just you have to be active. I feel like you shouldn't be afraid to put yourself out there and just create content, whether it's you practicing or just having fun with your teammates. Like people love to see that side of us as athletes, because I feel like we take our sport so seriously that we forget to have fun and just enjoy what we do.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like what you said there, to show, the hard times of that, just to show every aspect, because I think that's kind of what the media and the content that's changing right now on social media is, that people don't want to see the picture perfect stuff. They want to see the authentic you and every aspect of that. So do you think that's true with your social media platforms? It's just kind of, not having a picture perfect post, but kind of just showing just all aspects of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll post the times where I have good practices, and I'll also post practices where, I'm getting beat in practice, because it's part of the process. Like, you're not gonna win every single rep, and like I feel like showing that, because people always see me crossing the line, celebrating all this, but there's a lot that comes behind it. So I feel like just that, like I started vlogging more, like practices, doing mic'd up, and they're seeing like it's not as easy as it looks. Like just to run 10 seconds or 20 seconds in my various events, it's not as easy as it looks. It's more to it than just winning the race.
Yeah, for sure. Now, where do you expect your NIL experience to go? Where do you see future benefits that you're going to benefit from, whether it's, as you continue as a student athlete or even after you graduate?
So right now I'm doing my master's. I'll be completing a final season running indoors. Gonna be my first indoor season. I'm looking forward to that. And just I see that, I'm still, because when I have an NIL deal, I try to talk to the CEOs and just like create I want to create like a good relationship with them, because I plan, after I finish graduating, I plan to go to Paris 24 Olympics, and I want to have you know, I want to be signed. But if that is not the case, I want to have these brand deals, talk to them and say, hey, we've worked in the past. Would you mind sponsoring me to become a professional track athlete? I'll be representing Haiti. I'll wear your brand on my uniform, whatever the case may be, and just using that as a base, just to create a relationship. Networking is very important. Just because you do a deal one time, it could create a long lasting relationship. It could create a 5-year deal that you didn't even know was possible, just through making a simple video that they like. So I love getting positive feedback from different brands, what they like, what they didn't like, and just improving myself as a person. And also, at the end of the day, it's a business. You're a business, and you have to sell yourself. So
Yeah, most definitely. Now, what are some kind of like best practices you would give someone when they are continuing that networking and that relationship with a brand? Is there anything that you do that you would advise someone else to do?
I mean, I feel like you have to have an eye of discernment. So especially when like texting or emailing, I want to use the same tone that they're using. So if they're very friendly and they're like trying to be more, then I'll use that same tone. But if they're more professional, then I won't use like slang terms and things, that because you want to match their energy, and you don't want to give them the wrong impression of you. So I feel like that's very key, just matching the energy, looking at how they're typing and responding the same way, whether it's a professional manner or if they're trying to be in a closer manner, in a friendly way, then reply the same way.
Yeah, that's a good piece of advice. Now, on the same topic of advice, what would be kind of your top 3 pieces of advice that you would give to, incoming student athletes who are maybe coming right out of high school, or even student athletes who are within the NAIA and maybe they're thinking about getting started utilizing their NIL? What are kind of some 3 key pieces of advice you would give those student athletes?
Okay. So I mean, the first one, I'll go out to like people that have smaller accounts. Like you don't need thousands of followers, because like I said, it's about we call it engagement, because you can have a smaller account but you have a lot of engagement, and companies will look for that. They don't always want the bigger profile. They want something, you have a close, intimate relationship with your followers, and you create great content. great content will always beat a lot of followers any day, because you'll have people that have a lot of followings, but they don't create the best videos or the greatest content, but because of their follower base, they'll get these deals. So I feel like that's one piece of advice. A second one is, like I said earlier, just don't be afraid to record. Don't be afraid to show your personality and have fun with it. Like, the most important thing is to have fun. I feel like if you're too serious, it's going to be hard to create that high quality video or take, great pictures with these different brand deals. And then lastly, I'll say, don't be afraid to reach out to these different brands, because there was one case. I was with this they have like massage guns and things like that, and I applied on Open Doors and they never got back to me. So I took initiative, and then I contacted them through LinkedIn. I hit up the CEO. I was like, oh, I applied through Open Doors and I'm very interested to work with this company. I like what you guys are doing. And then he got back to me and he's like, oh, I didn't even know we had an Open Doors NIL deal, but I seen your profile on LinkedIn. I like that you took initiative. We'll start a deal right now. I'll email you the papers, sign them and then send them to your school. And I feel like, yeah, just don't be afraid to reach out to these companies also if you're not getting anything back. Just as as common courtesy, like, hey, I applied. If I don't get selected, what can I improve? Just things like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely have to be proactive for sure. Now going kind of back to Open Doors in your school, I thought of something else that I wanted to ask you is, so with your school, has your athletics director or your school, how have they helped you and maybe other student athletes at your school with NIL? Have they been providing resources or education?
Yeah, actually, we've done like our athletic director has done a really good job in that, and our sports administration department. They've done different seminars. I actually was part of a panel. We had like lawyers talk about the future of NILs and how it is. And we had athletes, me and one other NIL someone that just started with NIL with a smaller account, and she was talking about her experiences. I talked about my experiences. They asked questions. So I feel like the resources are there, but I feel like I said earlier, people are kind of afraid to like record and things like that. But I feel like it's an easy way to, to build yourself as an athlete. And it's also another good way to monetize yourself too.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of what we're learning is everybody's learning about NIL and what the whole, industry is about and what people can and can't do. So that's kind of what we're hearing across the board is that schools are learning just as much as student athletes are learning and companies as well. Kind of one last question here. So in regards to NCAA athletes, those are kind of the ones that you always hear about with the big $1 million brand deals and campaigns and stuff. But what do you think are those benefits of being an NAIA athlete at a small college, maybe in a smaller community? What do you think are the benefits of an NAIA athlete utilizing their NIL?
I mean, I feel like for the NCAA, because they have a higher source of revenue and all that support behind them, it's easier for them to get that support because they have fans everywhere. So brands will be more willing to partner with them. But I feel like with the smaller schools, you can create long lasting relationships because it's not just you and a big many, it's just you and a few. So you can contact these brands, you could create a long lasting relationship instead of being in a bigger school where you'll be getting a lot more money, but I feel like you won't be able to get that intimate relationship with a company because they'll probably be having a deal with you and like 50 other people from your team or 50 other people in the NCAA. Whereas the NAIA, they have like, these companies will look for certain people and they look for certain qualities in these people. And I feel like that's a lot more rewarding. Yes, they do get more money, but the money you make in the NAIA is up to you. It's up to each individual person. How much are you willing to put yourself out there, reach out and get these deals?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the thing with NIL, you can make money, you can get free product, but you can also build long lasting relationships. And like you said, like that has way more depth to it and could potentially lead to many more opportunities after just the deal is over. So just to wrap up things here, Isaac, thank you so much for joining us. You've been so excited to host you here, and we look forward to watching you run and hopefully in the next Olympics.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.